Confession time, I never got to have a traditional bridal gown experience, and that's always been something that I wondered about. But today we are talking with my friend Alex from La Vera Boutique in downtown Temecula. We're going to be talking all things bridal gowns, the bespoke experience when shopping, and what to look for as a bride-to-be. Let's go. As always, welcome back. This is Hitch, the show where we talk all things wedding, planning a bash that truly represents your personality, and doing it in a way that is fun. Today, we're talking with Alex from Love Era, who is a Palm Springs area wedding photographer and the proud owner of a boutique that celebrates brides who do things their own way. So thank you for having us.
Oh my gosh, well thanks for coming over. I'm so excited to host you here and excited to chat with you.
Of course. I would love to know just a little bit about the story behind Love Era, how it happened, why it happened.
I'll try to keep this short. I'm a wedding photographer of 9 years. I absolutely love what I do, and I love helping brides along their journey. I've just found that I connect with brides, you know, to a really deep level, and I wanted to take that further from wedding photography and bring something new to the Temecula area because, you know, we didn't have a bridal shop that was more fashion forward, unique designs, and I really wanted to bring that into the space. I also come from more of a creative background. My grandma taught me to sew when I was young, and, you know, it was just one of those things that I was always inspired to do, but never had the guts to do. Wedding photography helped me get here and gave me the inspiration that I needed to, you know, bring this to fruition. I am the only one who works here so far. You know, so if you do come to Love Era, I'm the one helping you. I'm really excited to do so and help you find your dream dress. And another big reason that I wanted to open up Love Era was because I know how special wedding planning is. I know how special this entire process is for brides, and I wanted to bring a unique experience to the Temecula area that didn't already exist for brides, and I just wanted to like give my love in that way. I just believe that brides should be able to experience every part of their wedding planning as stress-free and as excited as possible, and so bringing this bridal shop here was my way of doing that in this area.
Why do you pick the gowns that you have in the shop? Like, I personally love all of them because I feel like they're so unique.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the first time I saw your page, I was like, I love how different it is. I'm very used to the David's bridal princess aesthetic, which there's nothing wrong with that. But
Right.
for me, as someone who's very much, I love streamlined, I love ruffles, I love different stuff that stands out. Why do you pick the gowns that you pick, and how do you find that?
Yeah. So, I mean, as you know, probably, we see so many different things in the wedding industry. We see our brides show their personalities creatively through their fashion, through the designs that they choose for their wedding, their, you know, tablescapes, everything. And so I was really inspired by, you know, a lot of my Palm Springs brides who do things their own way. And I wanted to bring designers who you can't easily find in Southern California to the area. I wanted to find things that I know photograph well, that are exciting to be on video and photo, that really stand out and really showcase a personality. You know, there's nothing wrong with the David's bridal bride. There's nothing wrong with like wanting something super bridal or traditional, but I wanted to kind of stay away from super traditional bridal and bring dresses that someone could see and be like, wow, that's like me in a dress. That's who I want to be represented as a bride. And so that to me is exciting. I mean, it's the one time you get to wear this like crazy, extravagant, personality-driven dress, and it becomes such a meaningful piece in your life. Like, it's going to be in your printed photos from your wedding day. So I just think it's such an important piece to go shopping for, and that was exciting to me.
What kind of brought you to this space, and what was the thought process behind making the space as inviting as possible?
Oh my gosh, I could talk about this for days. Wedding planning is an experience. When your guests walk into your wedding day, your idea is for them to, you know, be taken aback and see everything and be like, wow, this is so that couple, you know? And so I know that that's important. As a photographer walking into a wedding day, I wanted brides to feel that walking into love era, because every part of the process should be romanticized, in my opinion. Like, you're doing this hopefully only once, and it should be like so special. And so I really wanted this to be a space where you're the only bride in the shop. You get all of the dresses to yourself. Your family and friends, you know, have the space to just chit chat, and they're not like peeking over at another bride, like commenting on their appearance or what they're picking out or comparing you to them. It should just be about you. And, you know, I just wanted it to be an open, bright, inviting space. Mi casa es su casa. Like, I just want you to feel like at home. We do have, you know, snacks and a little mini fridge and things like that for you. And yeah, all of that was just really important. And that also just comes from my upbringing, you know, being Mexican, you know, it's just very like invited, you know, you want to be invited in, and it's like, you know, family's always like shoving food in your face, like eat more plates. And I just want you to feel like you can come here and feel comfortable and be excited to, you know, hopefully find your dress, but if not, just have a beautiful experience with the people that you love.
Yeah.
So,
no, and it absolutely does feel that way. Like, for me, because I never got to have a traditional bridal styling experience. I went to David's Bridal and shops like that with other people. I went with friends when they got their gowns. And that was fun for sure, but it was like very different as an experience.
For sure.
And I really love how there's the windows. It feels so bright and airy and like this breathing room. And I also love that it's private. That's such a cool part of the whole experience to me.
Yeah.
Especially someone who's an introvert, I would not have wanted it to be with everybody around. So I really love that part of it.
Yeah, and introvert or not, a lot of brides are just nervous, like to come try on dresses. Like, you've never done it before. There's a lot of opinions being thrown around with wedding planning. There's a lot of just, you know, you just want to have like a safe space. And that's what I wanted to create, is a safe space, a beautiful safe space.
Yeah.
Just to touch on this too, if you don't have a florist yet, Flores Arturo is the person who did this beautiful like floral arrangement. But I wanted it to kind of like emulate like walking up to your ceremony or something.
Yeah.
Or, you know, doing
You know
that.
what?
So,
now that you say that, that kind of does.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm thinking of right
Yeah.
here. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Okay, so wedding hot take or bridal dresses hot take.
oh my gosh, I wasn't prepared for this. Oh my gosh. So many hot takes. Number one, you can find your wedding dress at the very first bridal shop that you go to, and it could potentially be the very first dress that you put on, and that's okay. I'm honestly, oh my God, it's so cringy saying this. I'm so sick and tired of seeing the TikToks of these like bridal influencers trying on 250 dresses.
Oh my
And like, I finally said yes to the dress at 261. I'm like, oh, it breaks my heart to think that brides think that they need to try on that many dresses to find your dress.
Yeah.
Ideally, you should walk into a bridal shop having already chatted with the bridal stylist, having them understand what your aesthetic is, and having told you, yes, we have what you're looking for here. You know, my goal whenever a bride comes in is to pick out 5 to 7 dresses that are spot on with what they're looking for. And then obviously it's also body type things where you want to make sure that like the dress looks great on you and you feel comfortable and excited to wear it. But style-wise, aesthetic-wise, it should already be fitting the vibe of what you're looking for and what you're gonna love. And a lot of my brides do, like 90% of my brides do come and find their dress the first time, the first dress, because my goal is to always put them in the dress that I think is the one that they're looking for. If you feel like you have to go to 5 dress shops, that is totally on you. But it does become exhausting for you, for your entourage. Sometimes brides even say yes to the wrong dress just because they're so tired and exhausted and like white out, fatigued from seeing so many dresses. So that is like my biggest hot take.
That's all good though. I feel like that's so important for brides to know and to think about. Like, it doesn't have to be a whole journey, even though that's very popular right now. I think there's okayness to being decisive. Like, I think that's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, and I will say, so like, because I know that that might be hard, it might be hard to think that you can be decisive. My biggest piece of advice to brides is, okay, go on these websites for all the bridal shops and look at their designers, look at the potential inventory that they might have, and see if you even vibe with it. Don't just blindly book appointments and go to all these appointments and exhaust yourself. Actually see if you're like vibing, jiving with the designers, or even go on Instagram and find the designers that you love and see who carries them. In the grand scheme of things, it's one decision you're making out of a bunch of decisions, and you don't want to exhaust yourself like with wedding planning. You want it to be fun. You want it to remain exciting.
Right.
You want to keep romanticizing everything.
So I would love to know, what does the process look like for a bride when she starts with La Vera, from the beginning to the end? What does the curation process look like for her?
Yes. Typically what we'll do for the curation process is I love to get on a phone call if you're available to do a call. If not, we'll text message. But I just love to get to know you, your vision, your aesthetic. You know, some of the most important questions are about how you want to feel on your wedding day. If it's more important for you to feel comfortable, we lean into that. If it's more important for you to show off certain parts of your body, we lean into that. I really just want to get to know what's important to you, because I truly feel that that is the most important thing. It's not what everyone else thinks you should look like or what the, you know, media says you should look like. I want them to be a representation of their own personality and themselves. So we talk through that. We talk through what's important to you. And then when you come in, I already have dresses picked out for you. I've curated them. I just want to dig deep into what it is that you're looking for. And truly, it's kind of a little test for me. I always put the dress that I think that they're gonna pick first. So if you're watching this, now you know my secret. And I just kind of see like how spot on I get to, you know, whether or not that's your dress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we'll try everything on from, you know, the first dress to, we typically do 5 to 7 dresses. Sometimes we have a little bit of time for more. If you do a VIP appointment, there's a little bit more time, but I don't want to exhaust you with too many options. Once we are at the end, we will put on your top favorite dress. We'll fully style it with veil options, jewelry options, all the things. We'll talk through what it could potentially look like and feel like on your wedding day. And I'll give you a little insight into the alterations process, which we don't do here, but my amazing friend Anita does down the street, and she's a star. So yeah, that's kind of like the whole process. And then when you're ready to say yes to the dress, honestly, a lot of brides it's not really a thing where I'm like, necessarily asking. A lot of brides just look at themselves in the mirror and they say, this is it. And it's like, it's crazy. It's so a lot of you probably watch Say Yes to the Dress and think that there's this like drummed up moment where you have to be bawling your eyes out and it's really not that. It's really just like a moment of clarity where you're like, this is truly me. This is my personality. I'm excited for this. This is it. And it's really exciting because you're like not expecting it when it comes out of a bride's mouth, and that's the sign. So yeah, that's kind of how that whole process goes.
So I'm curious, do you think you could like diagnose, I love you're diagnosed, but do you think you could diagnose me like on the spot?
Oh
do you
my
think
gosh.
you have that good of a eye just to pull?
No, because I don't ever want to like look at somebody and say, oh yeah, you would look good in this dress, but then you feel uncomfortable because like you actually don't want to show off that part of your body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could tell me a little bit more about what you'd be looking for, and we could potentially put you in a few of those dresses.
There we go. We can see whether your magic trick works.
Let's see. Oh my gosh.
Okay, let's see. What were your questions? Let's walk through the process so people have an idea.
Okay, so the first thing I would ask is, well, if you were planning a wedding today, what would the overall aesthetic be? Like, give me a venue that you're super stoked to potentially plan a wedding at.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I know.
I have like so many that I love working at as a photographer.
Are you the like secretly a bougie bride who wants this like really European, old money vibe?
I would probably have loved to go for Europa Village. I love their venue. It's so gorgeous and it feels so open but also very styled, and it doesn't need a lot of decoration to feel very classy.
So beautiful. They just did a ton of renovations, guys, and it's just stunning. I can't tell, you have to go visit for yourself. Go get a glass of wine. So Europa Village, do you think you're doing more like the Italian or the French side?
Definitely probably more Italian or the Bolero side, just because both sides are Italian and Hispanic. So I definitely think one of the big things for us, like at our actual wedding, was we had conchas, but we also had biscotti. That's how you say it. So we were very intentional about bringing in both of our cultures. We had a gourmet coffee bar and did a Mexican mocha and also a Neapolitan.
Shut up.
So stuff like that is very important
to your wedding. And so you really, for your dress, you really wanted to bring in more of like the Spanish vibe, right? Like you wanted to be more classic. I think we can put her in a couple dresses that she might love. We should try them on.
Okay. Yes,
okay,
we should.
I have them in my brain.
Dress trial?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So I think that this would be a perfect dress for, you know, Spanish style, European style wedding. It also accentuates all the parts of your body that you love, like your back. There's little things that you would need to know that would need to get taken in during alterations to just make it a little bit more form-fitting. But it is a beautiful style for brides who want that, you know, that European classic style. Also a little bit of the off the shoulder vibe, so it does draw direction towards your shoulders and your back. And a lot of brides tend to love this train because when you're walking down the aisle during the ceremony, a lot of your guests are seeing this. You know, the lace is super classic, super,
I love that, yeah.
super beautiful Spanish European vibes. So what I would do is I would probably style this with a veil that's a little bit more simple, just because there's already so much going on with the dress. We don't want it to compete too much. What we could do is use one of my favorite veils, which is a long cathedral veil. It has a lot of lace towards the bottom. So this would be a really fun one if you're wanting just something to accentuate the vibes and not compete too much. So it does add a little bit of a lace trim towards the bottom. Super pretty. And you
That is beautiful.
Simple up top. So this is a great option. And then if you wanted to do something that doesn't, you know, cover the train at all, another popular option is this beautiful short veil. It is double layer, so it has a blusher. So if you're dreaming of, you know, walking down the aisle with the veil over your head, this is definitely the option. And then it also does give volume up top where there isn't. So this is a great option too.
I know, and I love it's a fingertip length, so it's
Yeah.
right there, so it's easy to hold.
Yeah, really pretty for photo and video.
Oh my gosh,
You can
yes.
dive right in there and then plop this over. Super pretty. So this is what I would do for this particular one.
Can this bustle? Can every single dress bustle?
Oh my God.
Do that in alteration.
Great question. So any dress that you buy at a bridal shop does not come with a bustle.
Okay.
It's a common misconception. You have to have it added on during alterations, and the simple fact is that dressmakers make the dresses at you know, a standard length. You're gonna have to get it hemmed for whatever height you are and whatever heel length that you get or heel height that you get, and then the bustle's added after because it all depends on the length of the dress.
Right.
So alteration specialists do that for you.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so this is one of my favorite designers. I mean, obviously every designer that I carry is one of my favorites, but this is Nadia Manjares. She's a Mexican wedding dress designer. She designs out of a small atelier with, I think, like less than 20 women who hand make the gowns. So it really is super special for me to support her. And she also just makes incredible wedding dresses. So I loved picking this one out for Trinity. I feel like this is also on par with what the style that she would be going with. Obviously in her size, it's gonna be a little bit more fitted. Still have back showing while still being conservative. And then we have our Jane Ryan Cathedral veil that has Italian lace. Bring on the Italy. Very beautiful for this specific style. You know, wedding attire and for the overall aesthetic at Europa, which, you know, we're gonna plan this wedding now. But yeah, this is another option that I would put her in. I don't know, Trinity, like which one do you feel like you're vibing more with?
I love the length on this one, mostly because I'm a practical person, but I really do like this one too. And I love that it has that scalloped slit. That is so cute.
Yeah.
And I love where it sits.
It's so fun because this specific style, like you don't see often, it has side slits as opposed to like a front slit. So as you're walking, you can see your heels and you can kind of show off the leg without being too risque. And the scalloped edging, obviously, such a unique touch.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now the sleeves, how do the sleeves work?
So the sleeves, you would obviously, like this is way big on you. We would make sure to measure it so that it fits. It's supposed to be tight to the arms so that it's a little bit more like Hailey Bieber vibes. I don't know if you remember that wedding, but you want it tight to the arms so that it feels like it's connected to the dress. And then they are removable, so you can take them off if you're like, I don't know, overheating, or you just wanted them for the photos and you want you know, to kind of take some layers off.
Oh yeah.
After the ceremony.
After party vibes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So pretty. I love this style on you.
Well, first of all, I feel so beautiful because this is the first time
so
I got
beautiful.
to, like, really try something on to fit my style. So I love that it was so me for both of them. That was so much fun. Are there any last notes for anyone at home watching or just for brides?
You know, if I could just impart any words of wisdom to brides, just stay true to yourself and screw what everyone else says. It's your wedding. It's yours and your partner's wedding. So whatever you two agree on, stick to it, and all the noise can just be left behind. If at the end of the day you had no wedding and it was just the two of you standing, you know, at a courthouse, like that's literally all that matters. So whatever's important to the two of you, stick to that.
Where can people find you?
Okay, so you can find us at love-era.com. And that's at love___era. And you're more than welcome to DM me. I'm happy to answer any questions, any styling questions, book an appointment, just talk about weddings, whatever.
Leave a comment on the gowns. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and which one you think I might have worn or would wear for an event, and which one you like better for yourself. And if you are looking for an amazing gown that makes you feel just absolutely wonderful and suits your wedding day, come to Love Era in Old Town Temecula. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. I already feel like a bride again. So come on down, give her a visit, and give yourself the treat of a wedding experience that is absolutely unforgettable. Until next time, guys, leave a like, subscribe, and make sure that you fill out that newsletter form to get all things Love Era bride, bridal gown, and as usual, hitched news over the course of July. Bye.
Bye.